Next, we have a father and daughter, Miss Angel and Mr. Lonzo Blue of Blues Farm.
Hey, y'all.
Hello
That's
to
great.
all of our Kentucky Farm Conference members.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming out this morning. Are you up there yet?
Yes.
No?
No?
That's all
Maybe.
right.
We're working on
Well,
it.
we're working on it. Like you said, my name is Angel. This is my dad, Lonzo Ballew.
Many of you know me already.
Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces too. We are fourth generation and third generation. Our farm is in northern Madison County. And we've been there so long, we really have established a really good group of peer farmers with lots of different kinds of operations, big and small. Go to the next slide, please.
Yeah, this photo here is one of our initial farmers market photos. We built our own little sign, and we were off of Highway 627 in Boonesboro. Of course, I know Miss Tierman knows where we are.
You can keep going to the next slide.
So we've done quite a few different projects. I think a few years back they were calling us diversification, Mr. Diversification.
Yes, this is Mr. Diversification over here for sure. And we just absolutely love this picture. This is one of our old tobacco barns, but in general, you know, farming for us is definitely a livelihood and a daily motivation. You know, and one of the things we make sure to say is that with all our expertise and being multi-generational farmers, we're still learning every single day, and we know that there's all kinds of challenges that come, even though, you know, you might be farming for years. There's always weather and
It's
stuff.
kind of like what Mr. Miller said. You know, a lot of things are controlled by the weather. We can be the best. Well, I can't say. As my brother Leroy, who's not here at the time, weather will make a good farmer or a bad farmer out of you. This year, starting out this year, we ended up not having,
That's good, thank you. Go ahead.
not able to plant when we wanted to because the early spring rains really threw us off. We normally do a 30-acre sunflower field for
Dove
dove shoot
yeah.
every year for fish and wildlife. And that's one of the projects that we normally do. And what happened this year, each time we put those no-till planter in the ground, the actual no-till seed drop would get clogged up. So we couldn't put it in because there was too much moisture in the ground. Anyway.
Well, there's always
challenges.
something. And you know what? We really try to make sure that we share what we've learned, so that, you know, we can make the journey a little bit easier.
Okay.
Of farming. Thank you so much. You can go to the next slide.
There we go.
We've got some pictures up here. We do a few things. We've got meat chickens, laying hens. Most recently, we just got some Katahdin sheep that we're raising as well. Todd, do you want to say anything about this slide?
Yeah, and as you can see, Leroy and I are standing out here in the field. That particular garden we had was about 7 acres. And out of that 7-acre garden, that was one of our most proud years. After we did our soil test and got our nutrients right in that soil, we had 9-pound heads of cabbage. So, you know, it was a great year. That's Leroy and I out there. But our latest endeavor, which is where you see Angel, is the sheep. We've got a Katahdin sheep now.
And they are all about to drop. They're all pregnant and about to drop next month. So that's a new venture. It's going to be fun. If you have any advice for us, we welcome it. Can you go to the next slide? So shout out to Grow Appalachia. This is Uncle Leroy. I wish we would have gotten a better picture of him a little bit closer up, but this is him with our 3 high tunnels. I think this was back in 2014.
Yeah.
We partnered with them. They are a wealth of knowledge and resources. and a really mighty team. So I encourage you guys to make sure you stop by their table. So yeah, these are our 3 high tunnels that we use for produce. My cousin Brian is currently using one for his rice operation, Brian Chadwell. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah,
Strawberries.
This is one of our projects that we started off with Mr. Chavez. We were doing strawberries, and that was back in 2015. He helped us get our slips, and of course there's a program that you normally follow. You're planting in strawberries in the fall and covering them over for the winter and going through the whole process, making sure your pH is right in your soil and putting the right fertilizer on them.
So. It really helps. As you can see, we started off with 3 rows, and then we're able to expand in that season with adding 4 rows, and you can't see it too much, but that's my daughter and my niece over there in the strawberry patches. It was a good year. We were able to have those in our CSA boxes. You can go to the next slide.
And as Mr. Miller was pointing out earlier, he took a lot of the points that I was going to talk about. But we did do the soil health assessment with KSU. This is a photo of my brother, of course. He was out there with Sate Sar. I don't know if you remember Sate Sar, but some of you guys may remember
Dr.
him.
Sate Sar.
Who is now Dr. Sate Sar. He got it through his program. But we were prepping our area for this soil assessment. They were checking or testing soil production with conventional fertilizer, natural fertilizer, which basically is manure, and then
testing it on no-till and then also conventional methods. And really just seeing the benefits between the two. So it was really nice to be a part of that research and to partner with K-State. We were, as a result of that particular project, we were able to host a field day to talk, just like Mr. Miller was saying, about the importance of your soil and the importance of making sure you're testing and making sure your nutrients are what it needs to be to grow and have the best yield. Next.
We also came with the cover crop behind it as well, so that's part of it as well. So we end up doing, and as you can see, this particular slide is showing that we're currently in a project with Kentucky State, which was Madison County on the slide that Mr. Miller had. We are the Madison County branch, which is doing the no-till and the biochar research. They have come out for this year and planted corn. It wasn't sweet corn, which is what we normally like to put in, but
feed corn.
We did the field corn, and we end up with a drought after all those spring rains. Then we end up with a drought. Normally, you would end up with smaller ears, and fortunately for us, this particular plot that they did yielded a good bit of corn considering weather conditions.
Maybe it was because of the application of the biochar. You know, one of the important things about partnering with K-State on some of these research projects is that we just practically as farmers, like, we want to know what to put into our soil and that it's going to produce those nice ears of corns and things like that in order to yield a profit. And we like to make sure that we're finding practical solutions that are going to be cost effective and not just something to be adding. So it's a really good benefit of that partnership and that particular research project, which it's not ending yet. It's on a different 4 acres than our previous research project, and we'll be running that until 2027 with Dr. G.
Yes, so. Dr. G, and I don't remember the students' names at this time, but they've been working closely with my brother
team.
Leroy, so it's working out so far.
Next slide, please. Pretty much talks about that.
Yeah, which is what we were just talking
Next
about,
slide.
the biochar and the importance of it.
So, next slide.
I think that's it.
Which is better, biochar, no-till, or cover crops?
The way it stands right now, it appears that the research hasn't come back as far as what they're doing with the biochar on our farm right now. We haven't heard, but like I said, from actually going out there in the field and looking at what we've come up with, what the yield has been, it's much better using biochar. Because like I said, the spring rains, when they finally shut off, we end up in a basically 2 or 3 month drought, and we still came up with decent sized ears of corn. I know that there was a lot of corn neighboring farmers who were really affected by the drought, and their corn was much smaller, the ears were.
Yeah.
But when you go back and talk about the 2014-15 projects that they did, we used sweet corn, and those ears were enormous. It was sweet corn. We're out in the field eating corn.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting to see, but I think that, in my opinion, we did no-till and used biochar, and the results were really well.
Yeah. We'll see, if that works next year, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll get a chance to talk with the students and find out the results of their findings.
Yeah, because no 2 years are going to be the same. But so we talked a little bit about some of our research projects and things like that. Just really briefly to introduce the rest of the family team, because farming is hard and it's all hands on deck. I got Dad over here. You can't see, but he's got a nice catch in both hands. He loves to fish. And that's Uncle Leroy up at the top at the unit, the unit right here, to process our meat chickens. Of course, my mom over there, Taffy Ballew, she is excellent when it comes to organizing our events. And if you're super nice to her, she might even take a pre-order for some value-added products like some spaghetti sauce or some pickled beets. Who knows? And up in the corner, it's not coming through too great, but that's my daughter and my niece. They help out every now and then collecting eggs. Sometimes they're really just in the way and want to hike through the creek with Papa. So it takes a village, Next slide, please. So now just talking a little bit about the different operations that we have on the farm. Like my dad mentioned earlier, he is usually referred to Mr. Diversification because it takes a whole bunch to stay afloat. And you have to kind of have your hands in a lot of different pots to support a large farm like ours. So I mentioned before, my mom really helps a lot with organizing events that we host on the farm. Like this past year, we hosted the Army Depot Company's BG Cap, their company barbecue. So we do things like that as well. We also do open pasture horse boarding and veggies, produce. We're in the process of doing our spring planning for produce right now. So.
And beef cattle, of course, you see there. Mr. Brooks doesn't know it, but that's one of the calves that we got from him. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
It did. So we process about 3 to 4 steer for ourselves every year, and then try to sell some as well. So also before you saw the pictures of Uncle Leroy with our meat chickens, we also sell eggs. And like we mentioned recently, Katahdin sheep is our most recent venture, and we're very excited about it. Anybody want to come help out? We'd love a helping hand. All right, next slide. We've talked pretty much about our products. The only thing we didn't mention was hay.
Yeah. And what you see there is an older alfalfa field. We've since then moved to a different area, but we're still doing the alfalfa orchard grass, alfalfa Timothy, which we sell to the horse farms in Lexington for the most part. Mm-hmm. But we're not limited to Lexington. We're surrounding counties that, as far as Madison County is concerned, whether it be Rockcastle, Clark, all the different counties in the area.
Yeah, and I like to mention a lot of our hay production is tied to our NRCS Equip contract, which we've had a few of those over the years, and so we are also available to kind of advise and handhold, because being newer to farming, I wanted my hand held through a lot of the paperwork, and so over the years, we've been able to kind of offer that to farmers that are friends, trying to kind of get through the contract paperwork so that they can focus on the actual business of farming. So yeah, next slide.
We've done quite a bit of contracts with NRCS, and we've also pretty much every year submitted for the CAPE program, whether it be putting up some new structures or something that they fund, because there's a whole list of things that they fund, and we're always doing something on the farm, and there's always work to be done.
One of the main reasons we were asked to speak and shed light on our different partnerships and resources that we've gotten in partnership with K-State was because this past year we went on a journey to make sure that everything was kind of recorded properly, and we had an official survey for our generationally inherited land. And we talk a lot about our like peer network, and one of the people that we lean on, his name is Bill Thomas, and he's retired from NRCS. I don't know if he's here today, but he comes to the Third Thursdays, and he was really instrumental in, again, like holding our hand through that process and making sure that we were involved with people that were legally looking out for our best interest. And so today, we just wanted to make sure that we hit on some of the really important reasons why you need to, whether you are leasing land, whether you're, whatever your situation is, why it's important to make sure that you know what your boundaries are.
And there's many reasons why you would want to have that survey. And the primary reason is to know your boundaries. As a kid, my grandfather used to take me around and show me the boundaries and the fencing, but that was not a survey. And I don't know that he had a survey when he purchased the property. However, we have, through our deeds, went back through and got our surveys done. They're important because, for one, a prime example for us, we ended up with a dispute with our neighbor because of the fencing. He was trying to say that this particular area was his, or he wanted to buy this from us, and the whole thing got real convoluted.
God forbid anybody here gets into any kind of neighbor dispute, but the point is, make sure that you know what your boundaries are, and make sure that you're legally protected. Make sure that it's on file, especially for things like tax assessments. A lot of times you are eligible for different agricultural or conservation classifications as well. That can reduce your tax liability. And then also for future planning, we have a lot of development pressure, and so it's important for us to make sure that we know where future utilities and easements.
That's what she's saying, the development portion of it. Another example of what I was talking about, we are currently in negotiations with a power company wanting to put an easement in to install more power poles. There's a subdivision coming up and they need more power, basically. So they're in the process of, well, let me put it this way. My nephew has rice out on the backside of the farm, and he came to me one day and said, "Hey, what's going on? There's poles out here on the farm. Are you doing something, or what's the poles for?" And I said, "I don't know. Let me see where they are." As I went back and looked, my brother Leroy told me, "Hey, they're going to run new power lines up to the house and on up towards 627. Well, my thoughts immediately were, wait, they don't have an easement for this. As I went back into the courthouse to find out the records and pull all our easements, there was nothing in there that they had access to. There was no previous easement, and they were just going to go ahead and put the poles in and say, "Hey, this is what we've got. This is our easement now."
Yeah.
So legally,
make sure you have your legal basis covered.
Yes, that's why you want to have that survey done, and you want to make sure that if they're doing something like that on your farm, you do have a proper documented easement. And
recorded survey.
yes,
So we are overtime, and we are in between lunch in a second. So does anybody have any questions? You can go to the next slide, but we wanted to make sure we wrapped up, and I think I saw a hand raised over there, but we kind of went past it. We can definitely talk about biochar together. How often?
how often?
How often we applied? I think we
Oh,
just
well, okay. I don't know that there is a specific date or time that is referenced to the application, but I would assume that normally you would apply it prior to. Oh,
I can hear you.
I would assume that you would naturally apply it prior to any of your plantings, almost like you would lime. So when you apply lime, it depends on what type of lime you do, but normally field lime, it takes about 6 months for it to actually get into the soil and activate. So I'm assuming it's about the same with biochar. Again, the research results that Kentucky State students have done, we haven't gotten back the results as of yet, but I would naturally assume that that would be the case prior to planting. Yeah.
No?
It first cutting, we're normally selling at about $6 a bale, square bale. We'll base on our production. We'll normally do about half of what we do. We do about 100 acres. We'll do half of it in square bales, and then the rest we'll roll. Yeah, yeah. Time management. First come,
Give you a
first
call.
serve. Yeah, first come, first serve. Yeah. Alfalfa, orchard grass, alfalfa, Timothy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a lot more alfalfa orchard than alfalfa Timothy.
Oh,
that goes a
yeah.
lot faster.
Right,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
And the later in the season, the more expensive the hay is. Like now you can sell it for $9 a bale versus
Yeah.
$4.50.
Well, that's second cutting.
The second, but
Yeah,
later
and if you
on,
get-
when it's in high demand, you can charge more for it.
Yeah.
You can hear what her role is.
All right. Thanks much.
Guys.
Y'all stay up there. I'm gonna give y'all that.
Thank you, sir.